All right, ladies, let's talk about the real perimenopause stack, the one that actually supports metabolism, energy, body composition, skin and gut health, and mood without promising magic and without ignoring biology. This is the same framework I use with my private clients in my women's group and honestly on myself. So I start with metabolic support, which is going to be our GLP-2 or GLP-3, tirzepatide or retatrutide. During perimenopause, estrogen fluctuations tank insulin sensitivity, and this increases visceral fat storage even when your diet hasn't changed. It's totally not your imagination. Your biology is just shifting, and that's where GLP peptides can really shine. So our tirzepatide is the dual GLP-1 GIP agonist. Retatrutide is GLP-1, GIP, and glucagon, regulating 3 different receptors that help us support insulin sensitivity, stabilize post-meal glucose, helps your body stay fuller longer, and helps you shift your body composition in the right direction. So in perimenopause, why this matters? Well, several large clinical trials showed that improving the incretin signaling, that's our GLP-1s, helps reduce cardiovascular risk markers, improves inflammatory tone, and keeps metabolic rate higher in midlife. Exactly what estrogen withdrawal disrupts, but these work better when hormones are optimized, so we do need to take care of that too. Don't ignore it. And now that the FDA has dropped the black box warnings, clinicians will hopefully start to rethink this, but you should too, and educate yourself on the benefits. Take this information to your doctor and get your hormones on the right track, because everything else is going to be easier once that is dialed in. The second peptide is going to be SS31 for mitochondrial repair. That's the energy reset. This is one of my personal favorites for women in their 40s and 50s because these energy declines are real and they start in the mitochondria. SS31 is a mitochondrial targeted peptide that binds something called cardiolipin in the inner mitochondrial membrane. That's the anchor point of ATP production. So by stabilizing this, SS31 is going to help restore our ATP output, that's the energy, and reduce oxidative stress. And it also supports tissues that kind of take a beating in perimenopause, like our muscles, our brain, and our heart. So quick note, SS31 has human trials in heart failure, mitochondrial myopathies, and it's approved by the FDA for Barth syndrome. So across a broad spectrum, it optimized mitochondrial efficiency and fatigue. Energy is chemistry, and this helps optimize that chemistry for us. Third is going to be KPV if needed. This one is going to be your gut calm and skin calming friend. When estrogen starts to dip, our histamine levels can go up. And that's why, so mast cells are what release histamine. So we can develop sort of these histamine reactions and gut permeability increases. And then the skin is often the first times to show the signs of what's happening in our gut, like the leaky gut and the inflammation going on inside. So KPV is a small anti-inflammatory tripeptide, and in animal studies, it's been shown to calm down this mast cell activation, reduce some of the inflammatory cytokines, bringing down inflammation system-wide, and it can even support some of that epithelial repair in the gut, which is going to then show up on our skin. So I like to use this one strategically for clients in perimenopause that have bloating or skin redness, histamine sensitivity, rosacea, like me. This is one of my favorites. Number 4 is going to be Ipamorelin. This is my favorite for sleep, repair, and lean muscle preservation. In perimenopause, we have disrupted sleep and lower growth hormone pulses. This happens with everybody, not just perimenopause. These decline with age. That means we also have declining collagen, harder time building muscle. You know what I'm talking about, right? So Ipamorelin helps nudge your natural nightly growth hormone pulse, and that's going to support your deeper sleep. You're going to wake up feeling like you slept really good, like a baby. And that's going to help with muscle repair, collagen production, recovery from training, and it even supports your mood and your brain health because good sleep translates to better mood and better focus and all that good stuff. So one thing I know from aging research is the ability to maintain muscle is the #1 longevity marker, and Ipamorelin is incredibly supportive when paired with intelligent training, strength training. We need to be doing strength training. This peptide isn't going to help by itself, but it can really support the work that you're putting in at the gym. Now, all this really pairs well with our bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. That makes all of these peptides work better when your hormones are addressed. That's the foundation. Bioidentical estrogen and progesterone and testosterone really help to stabilize mood, can reduce inflammation, improve sleep, help us maintain muscle and bone strength, which is super important as we enter menopause, because that's when we start to lose bone and we don't want to fall and risk breaking a bone because everything's downhill from there. So muscle and bone are super important, and estrogen is critical for that, and testosterone. Hormones also support having a healthy brain function and restoring insulin sensitivity. No supplement, peptide, or diet replaces what estrogen does for your mitochondria, period. This really needs to be dialed in if you're in that place in life, because it will help everything flow better. Now, lifestyle is also the non-negotiable layer. Peptides amplify the basics, but it does not replace them. Now, the foundations that I recommend for women over 40 that I coach with is high quality nutrition with adequate protein. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect. We're talking 80-20 here. Second up is strength training 3 to 4 days a week. Some form of cardio. Ideally, I love zone 2 for mitochondrial density. That's where you're maybe walking up a hill. It's effort, but you can still hold a conversation. And then stress management, whatever that means for you, some type of, for me, it's breath work, could be therapy, could be walking outside, just getting some sunlight, playing with your dog. Just do something that makes you feel good. And then adding in antioxidants like ALA, CoQ10, glutathione, our master antioxidant, and of course, vitamin C, my favorite. Creatine is going to help support muscle and brain function. Vitamin D, magnesium glycinate, EPA, DHA fish oil, these are all also basics that every woman should have in her toolbox. And then there's other supplements that could be adjusted based on your lab work, but those are the main ones. Blood work every 6 months. This is essential. Your physiology is changing and you need real data to stay ahead of it. At a minimum, I recommend fasting insulin, glucose and A1C, a lipid panel, HSCRP, that's your inflammatory marker, and then your estradiol, progesterone, testosterone to see where you are, DHEA, thyroid panel, ferritin and iron, and then your vitamin D, and then a complete metabolic panel and a complete blood count. So even something like a full metabolic and hormone panel, those can give you a lot of information and how to help you support your body. So this isn't an ad, but I do use Function Health. I'll post a link down below if you want to use it. I do have a code that you can get a discount. But that's what I've been using for the last 2 years. You go twice a year for a full blood workup, and it really helps you track all your markers and optimize your personal biology. Final thoughts: perimenopause is not a decline, it's a recalibration. And when we support the metabolic pathways, the mitochondria, the gut, the hormones, the nervous system, I promise you everything gets so much easier. You're going to be amazed. If you're feeling like crap right now, then I promise you it does get easier when you dial everything in. And if you want to work with me or join my women's group where I teach all of this in detail, I'm going to leave all the links below. And I'll see you